How you doing, folks? Welcome to another episode of the Terry Taylor Show, coming to you from the couch. I have to apologize. I've been sort of sporadically on. I've been getting over horrible death flu. I'm finally feeling a little bit better. Finally out of the woods. I'm not bedridden anymore. Not bedridden in that polio FDR sort of way, but just generally miserable with tissues, which I have right here, stuffed up each nostril to prevent leakage. Anyway, how you guys doing? Welcome to the show. This is episode 8, I believe, unless I still have medicine head. Welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. We got a good show for you today. I guess it would be kind of shitty if I was I got a horrible show for you today. Worst show on YouTube. We'll have to do something with that. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. We're going to start off with last night. There was the pilot season, as Amazon calls it, of 3 new shows. I did a review of one of them early this morning. Basically what they do is they put up pilot episodes of these shows and you vote on them. And they pick and choose which ones are going to stick. So last night this morning they premiered The Tick, which I was very excited for, curious for. Jean-Claude Van Johnson, starring the man Jean-Claude Van Damme himself, and I Love Dick, which is starring Kevin Bacon. Sorry, I didn't turn my little notifications here off. Anyway, starring Kevin Bacon. So, I watched The Tick first. I was very excited about The Tick. I put a review up on my channel this morning. You can watch that. And I love The Tick. The Tick, okay, let's not say I loved it. Let's just say I'm intrigued and I want to see more, because I think they're off to a good start. They just have to fix the Tick suit. I think Peter Serafinowicz is doing a good job as the Tick. He's a little... The first couple of minutes of him on screen took a little getting used to, but then I fell right into him. He's got that dry, sort of goofy sense of humor that lends very well to the character. I had reservations going into it, where I love Peter Serafinowicz in the stuff he's done. I always think of The Tick and I think Putty, Patrick Warburton. These guys with their fucking names, it's unbelievable. Patrick Warburton. I always think of him from the 9-episode live-action Fox series, and he was a great Tick. He was a really great Tick, and he had the superior costume, I will say, thus far. But Peter Serafinowicz does a great job. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I had my fan going. I realized it's going to pick up, not to be unprofessional or anything, but it's my fucking show. I can do whatever I want. So yeah, I like The Tick. I did a review of The Tick this morning on my channel, so you can watch that. But yeah, just go watch it. Vote for it if you like it. Then I watched Jean-Claude Van Johnson, which I have not done an isolated review of yet. I may. But I had to watch it because I'm from the 80s, and Jean-Claude Van Damme was like a fucking superhero. He was a rock star back in the day. So, several years ago, he had a film out called JCVD, where he played himself in, this ridiculous scenario. And there's one moment in the film where he literally rises out of the scene into the rafters, into the lighting. And he just starts talking, and it's actually the best acting I have ever seen him do. He taps into himself and just starts talking about all the money and the influence of. I mean, it's an emo moment that he has up in the rafters, but it plays really well into the film, and it's definitely obvious that film had a lot of inspiration in this show. The show itself, and maybe spoilers if you haven't seen it yet. Spoiler. He plays himself again, and Felicia Rashad is in it, and she looks absolutely stunning, and she's great in it. She she plays his like manager sort of person, but it turns out that not only was Jean-Claude Van Damme an actor, but he was also a black ops agent the whole time, and he's getting back into business, baby. So, I mean, come on, who doesn't want to fucking see that? It's ridiculous, and he looks great. He does. He's in great shape. I mean, there's many, and there's scenes with him with his shirt off, all oiled up as you need to have, and he still looks great. And he makes fun of himself, like he's definitely lighthearted about himself. So I want to see where it goes. I will say this though, from a narrative standpoint, the story's a little all over the place. It doesn't make much sense, so you have to really pay attention to follow it. But I feel like once it has time to tell its story, it will all fall into place. But other than that, like, I'm interested. Then there's I Love Dick, starring Kevin Bacon, and I gotta be honest, I haven't seen it yet. I'll watch it later today. I've just been busy. I was sort of exhausted, getting over this sick. Excuses. I haven't watched I Love Dick yet. Sorry, Kevin Bacon. I love you. I will watch it. I will review it. Now, moving forward, that's that. Go on Amazon. Go check out these pilots and go see for yourself. Leave me comments below and whatnot. We can all talk back and forth about it. Now, where are we going to go from this? We're going to go into The Crow. So, 4 years since whatever last horrible direct-to-bullshit fucking make of The Crow they last did, they're trying to reboot the whole thing, and they've been trying to do it for a while. And it's had nothing but problems. It has fallen all over the place, losing directors, losing scriptwriters, like losing funding. It's had release dates and lost release dates. It's this constant, ongoing nonsense. Where I personally think, let The Crow be. Like, let it alone. It's not done anything positive since Brandon Lee died for the first magnificent Crow film. Leave the property alone. Let it do some things in the comic book world first. Let's not beat this to death anymore, and especially now we're casting Aquaman himself, Jason Momoa, as the Crow. When I think of the Crow, I don't think of a big burly Hawaiian guy. I'm sorry. Jason Momoa, I love you. I think you're going to kill it as Aquaman. But come on, the Crow? What the fuck? Look, Alex Proyas, who directed the original Brandon Lee Crow film, he put out a statement last week or a few days ago, whenever this was announced, saying that I'm summarizing because I don't have it directly in front of me. Essentially, his point was that they finished that film when he died on set because his family wanted to, and it was a labor of love, and it was a project he loved making, Brandon Lee. So they did it in honor of him. So let it stand as that, and let's not disrespect it. And I fully agree with him. Look, I don't care. Like, they're going to put this person into it, and this person's going to write. They've been doing this. They've been playing this fucking game for a long time, and it just seems to me as there may be, and I'll get a little mystical here, maybe there's a little bit of a curse on this project. Maybe whatever cursed Brandon to be killed making the original, which was so great, is preventing them from going forward with this property. Maybe just let it be. Let The Crow stand as that wonderful movie that Brandon Lee gave his life for. Let it stand as that. My opinion. You may think differently. You can write it below, and we'll discuss it. If whatever, you want to troll me or whatever, bring it on. I don't care. Start your own channel. Bullshit there. So anyway, that's my thoughts on The Crow. So apparently the whole thing is moving forward in production, which I'm unbelievably skeptical. I'm unbelievably skeptical. Which brings us to another project moving forward, which will be Interview with the Vampire. And apparently, Lestat is going to be Jared Leto. This one doesn't bother me, okay, because I like Jared. I think he's a wonderful actor. He's a fantastic performer. He's a great rock star personality, pop icon. He's a cool guy, and he's a really sweet guy as well. When you meet him in person, he's a nice guy. So there's a lot been going on with Jared recently. So he's been cast. Well, rumor is he's going to be Lestat. Okay, I could be interested in that. I know that Queen of the Damned wasn't all that great, and I'm sorry, Aaliyah. She was actually pretty good in it. The movie itself just wasn't that good. Sure, I'll take some more Interview with a Vampire. Why not? Jared has also joined the cast of the Blade Runner sequel, which Blade Runner to me is a very it's one of the best science fiction films ever made. It's iconic. And in my opinion, I know you can have your own opinion, and the film leads you to draw your own opinion, depending on which cut you actually see. Harrison Ford is a replicant. So how is it going to be all these decades later and he's still going, unless he's not a replicant? Which, depending on the cut you've seen, he isn't. But you can see the glowing in his eyes, man, and that you can see in all the replicants. And as far as Ridley Scott was concerned, he was a replicant. Yet he's doing this new film, which I understand. Okay, here's my thing with Ridley Scott. He's a magnificent artist. He makes visually stunning films. And in his early career, he told great narratives. If you look at the first Alien, that to this day is one of my all-time favorite films, period. It's absolutely stunning. The original Blade Runner, absolutely stunning. Great narratives as well. Deep stories. Then you get further into his career and you have things like Prometheus, which looked beautiful. I personally did not like the film, and I was highly, highly anticipating that film. I was not okay with the final cut of that film, but now I've learned since that film has gone on that he had really ambitious ideas, which didn't. A lot of it got cut. It suffered from the same thing a lot of like Fantastic Four and Batman vs Superman, and it suffered from a lot of bad editing choices and to scale it down to fit it, and a lot of things didn't play out the way they should have. But unfortunately, due to the shitty edit, like little hints of storylines are still left there that don't make any sense and have no ending. So the film suffered from that, as well as that ridiculous the rolling ship and Charlize Theron could have just turned right or left, right or left. I mean, something is rolling behind you. You have no walls. Hello? Anyway, he's doing Blade Runner. I mean, I'm nervous. I hope it's good. I hope the story. I mean, Harrison Ford signed on for it, but he also did the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which was fucking awful. So, I mean, he could be playing pickup last minute in the twilight of his career, if you will. Reprising these roles. He just came back as Han Solo. Never, spoiler alert, he died as Han Solo. He's coming back as Indy again. Now he's coming back as Deckard. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. This could be a money grab. This could be something that he read the script that he loved it. I mean, we'll see. I personally love The Force Awakens, and I feel like he thought that was good closure to that particular character, because he never really had any desire to reprise that role until I guess he saw it had a fitting end. The character had a fitting end. I think that death scene personally is very subtle and I love it. A lot of people were like, it's very underwhelming. I don't think so. The only thing is, it's like whoever designed that place needs to put railings on things. Other than that, I love the touch to the face as he. Anyway, I'm gonna get misty here. So yeah, Blade Runner. We'll see. We'll see. I'm skeptical, but optimistically skeptical. If that makes any sense. That brings us to. Oh well, since we're talking about Jared Leto, a lot of people are like, "Oh, he's so pissed with the cut of Suicide Squad," which I can understand, and that he's been talking all this shit. Fuck him, fuck him, fuck him. Okay, so here's what really happened. 30 Seconds to Mars has the echelon. That's what they call the fans, and they are very involved with their fans, and they do like these camping trips and all these things, and they just had one. And one of the things that they said is they sort of wanted his Joker to not be too muscular. They sort of wanted him to be a little skinnier, and so they told him he couldn't do too much physical activity, like rock climbing, which happens to be like Jared Leto's like favorite thing in the world to do. And he said, "I rock climbed anyway. Fuck him." And the whole thing blew out of context. So don't go down a rabbit hole reading all this bullshit that's written online. It was blown completely out of context. He's going to be the Joker for the foreseeable future, so don't freak out. So now, that brings us to John Turturro, who is now in the past few weeks has been rumor that Jeff Bridges was talking about they're going to be doing a Lebowski sequel, and it's been a buzz for a little while that they were doing it. Well, it turns out that John Turturro's been filming a film that everybody thought was an interpretation of this novel, but what it really is it's a side story. It's the Rogue One of the Lebowski universe, if you will. It is Jesus. Quintana. He's gonna have his own story where he and Bobby Cannavale and Susan Sarandon are apparently in, and apparently it's like a heist film, but they're teaming up to give a woman her first orgasm. But the Coen brothers are not involved. I mean, this is a little worrisome. First of all, Jesus stole the Big Lebowski in his small role. I mean, he didn't steal it, but he's fondly remembered. But the problem is, he's a fucking scoundrel. He's a fucking pedophile. Why would you make a movie about this character? Unless, they do the twist where, it was just a rumor and it never happened. It's just, he has this sort of, rumors that follow him around, and he's really just like this petty thief kind of loser guy. I don't know. It remains to be seen. I'm skeptical on this one. This one's worrisome. I do love John Turturro, and I think he's a fantastic filmmaker. So if he believes strongly enough in this character and what he's going to do to bring to the Lebowski world, I mean, don't fuck it up, man. Don't fuck it up. It's a tough character. At the depths of it all, it's known that he's a fucking pedophile, and you don't really. I mean, how can you sympathize? At the end of the day, however the story arc goes, if they keep in that he's always been a pedophile, how can you feel bad for him at the end of it? No matter what, how can you sympathize with his character, is what I'm asking. That's just me. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Apparently it's filming. Apparently we're going to be seeing that in the not too distant future. Which brings us to a remake I'm also skeptical about, which is the Clue remake. Now, I'm not skeptical of remaking Clue, which if you never saw the original, Tim Curry, Christopher Lloyd, Madeline Kahn, it's a fantastic comedy, and it still holds up to this day. And it's based off the game Clue, which is a murder mystery game in a mansion. What makes me skeptical about the remake is that they have lofty ideas of where they want to blow it out and make it this worldwide thing, but really, doesn't that turn it into where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I mean, the whole thing was these people are assembled in a home and a murder happens. That's the basis of the game, and it's a mystery of who done it. If you break it on at a world scale, then there's billions of people who could have done it. I mean, let's play the board game of this idea first before we go into making this crazy fucking remake. I have no problem with remaking it, making it current. Do it. Put it in any time period you want. But keep the source material at least recognizable. Put it back in the house. It's a murder mystery. It's a murder mystery. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. The Irishman is the new Scorsese film, which is based on a book which was written by on this dude's deathbed about basically how they whacked Jimmy Hoffa, and it's starring De Niro and Al Pacino. Rumor was that Joe Pesci was going to be in it, but even when they brought all the garbage trucks full of money to his house and dumped it on his lawn, he was like, "Nah, I'm retired. What do you think? I'm fucking retired over here." So Joe Pesci is not in the movie, but they're going to use that Benjamin Button technology and be able to tell this story over a time period, and they can jump around. So we're going to see young De Niro and Pacino working together, and old Pacino is going to jump around. So that's cool. Scorsese's awesome. They did wonderful things with the aging technology in the Marvel films. I mean, Michael Douglas looked unbelievable in Ant-Man: Civil War. They did it to Robert Downey Jr. So they're doing really cool things with this. They did it to Agent Carter in Winter Soldier. They do cool things with this. So that's going to be cool to see. I'm looking forward to The Irishman. I think it's going to be fantastic. It's Scorsese. How can you go wrong? You got De Niro, you got Pacino together. Happy birthday to De Niro. It just passed. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. Moving forward, we have Hulu is doing the comic book adaptation, the adaptation of the comic book, The Runaways, and making it a series. So Marvel's just spreading all over the place. They got Netflix, they got the films, they got the comics, they got stuff over here with Fox, they got, they're all over the place, Marvel. Good for them. I'm interested to see The Runaways. It's an interesting comic book series. You should check it out. Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. They're a bunch of misfit kids. It's gonna be good. I'm excited about what's going on. Anyway, I got people at the door. Thanks for stopping by today. Make sure you click like and subscribe and share on the bottom of the screen, and hit me up on social media at Terry the Loon. Thanks for stopping by. Bye bye.